today I'm going to be talking about how to set goals the right way, which I thought was a really good topic to say. It is New Year, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have been setting goals or have just set your New Year's goals, perhaps, or maybe you haven't set any goals and you've just already got goals in place. Or maybe, if you're a bit like me, I've not set my goals yet for New Year. And it's just something that I left to brew, which is the first time I've ever done that, but it feels like a good thing to do. So if you're there thinking, well, I've not quite set any New Year's goals yet, however, I am thinking of doing it, this session is going to be really supportive for you. And if you're thinking, well, I've already set my goals and I'm really happy with them, then brilliant. This session is also going to really help you to go through them goals that you've already set and perhaps look at them in another way. So what we're going to do then is we're going to dive into how to set goals the right way. As always, these sessions are always nice, short and sweet. So I'm aiming to keep it to at least 10 minutes, probably try and squeeze as much content and as much value as I can into 10 minutes. So, as always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnosis trainer and breakthrough coach trainer. I certify coaches and neuro-linguistic programming practitioners to become better at what they do. Basically, we've got a lot of students who are already coaching and who want extra tools and techniques to help them, and we've got a lot of other students who completely newbies to coaching and want help from right at the start all the way through to setting up the business and coaching, and we do the full shebang. So I'm going to dive into this then, how to set goals the right way. How to set goals the right way. So when you're setting goals and outcomes, it's really important to ensure that you're doing it in a way that supports you and your clients, right? And also that it supports you to embed into the subconscious mind, right? To embed into the subconscious mind. Often what people do is they will set goals, or they'll think, right, well, I want to achieve that, or that's the outcome that I want. And they'll write it down, and then that's it. Maybe they'll look at it again, or maybe they'll do the work on the mindset, or perhaps they might even write the goal out every day, or journal on it, or visualize it as if it's happening. And these steps that I'm going to take you through will support you to do all of that and add an extra layer on top of your goal setting and outcome setting to support you to embed it into the I can't speak today into the subconscious mind, right? So as I said, if you've already set goals for the new year, or if you've already set goals for the first quarter of the year, so I said I've not set New Year's goals yet. I do know what we're doing in the business. Actually, I do know what we're doing in the business for the next 12 months. So I know what things we're working towards, but I've not really sat down and set any specific goals this time, which is a first for me. I've just kind of let it settle. So if you're a bit like me and you've not set any specific goals yet, these are going to really help you. Okay, so the first thing is stated positively, right? Focus on what you want. So a lot of people know what they don't want, right? A lot of people know what they do not want. They know that they don't want to be unhappy. They know that they don't want to put on weight. They know that they don't want to be single. They know that they don't want things to go wrong. But most people, without even realizing it, are focusing on all of these things that they don't want and not focusing on what they do want, and they're not even realizing that they're doing it, right? Now, the unconscious mind doesn't process negatives. So if I say to you, don't think about a blue tree, what are you thinking about, right? What are you thinking about? Do not think about a blue tree. Don't think about a blue tree. Stop thinking about a blue tree. Right? You're like, are you all right, Becca? Yeah, how are you feeling? Right? You can't not think about a blue tree, right? When I say it. And what happens is when we think about the things that we don't want, our unconscious mind doesn't process that, right? Doesn't process the negations, doesn't process the negatives. So if you're thinking, I don't want to put on weight, I don't want to be unhappy, I don't want to be single, I don't want things to go wrong, I don't want this, I don't want that, right? Your unconscious mind cannot process that. So we need to ensure that we state our goals positively and we're focusing on what we want, right? On what we want and not on what we don't want. So number 2 It should be self-initiated and self-maintained. And what this means is it down to you? Is it down to you? Are you at cause for your goals and outcomes? If you are not, then you need to evaluate this. And what this means is there somebody else in the equation, right? So for example, if you have a business partner maybe, and the goal that you're working towards, the outcome that you're working towards is partly based on them and partly based on you. Now, in business, it is important to, if we have a business partner, to obviously ensure that we're both working towards the goals and outcomes that we want. However, when you are setting goals and outcomes for yourself and that you're working towards, you need to ensure that you are at complete cause for the result. So if you were, in that example, if you were working with a business partner, I would suggest splitting the goal and setting goals for each of you individually that is completely initiated by you, yourself, and I. I taught this topic, we spoke about this topic in our NLP deep dive session this morning. And I used the example of a relationship. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you are working towards something, you're working towards an outcome, and maybe it's a goal that you set for yourself, an outcome that you've set for yourself, but in your mind, you're thinking that your partner has to do some things in order for you to achieve that outcome. You really need to reassess that, because you need to be fully at cause for the outcome and the goal that you're working towards. Okay? So you need to be fully at cause, right? Number 3, full and specific sensory-based description of the outcome and the steps to achieve it, right? So I journal a lot, right? In fact, in my book, Step Into Your Personal Potential, my best-selling book, I talk about journaling a lot in there and how it can really help you take any self-talk or anything you've got in your mind going on, really take it out and put it onto paper. And you can also use this really effectively with setting goals and writing about your goal as if you've achieved it. So a couple of weeks ago, Neil was having a bit of a declutter, and we've got a bookshelf at the bottom of the stairs, which was a bit of a dumping ground for stuff that we just didn't know where to put. And a couple of my journals ended up on there. Now, I don't tend to read my journals back, but at this particular time, I'd found it on a pile of things that needed moving off this bookshelf, right? And so I thought, oh God, we can throw that away. I don't need that. I thought it was full. And I thought, oh, I wonder what's in there. So I opened the front page and I started to read. And the exact sensory description of what was happening in my life that week was in this journal. Okay, and I can't remember the exact words, but it read something along the lines of, I am sat in front of the window, the window's open, I can feel the breeze across my face, the sun is shining, and I'm sat delivering a masterclass to my students, a £27 masterclass to my students about how to achieve consistent 10k cash months. They're really excited, they're really engaged, and they're asking lots of questions. So I used really specific sensory-based descriptions, what I could feel, what I could hear, what I was saying to myself in my head perhaps, where I was, what I could see, okay? And so this is really helpful because it embeds into the subconscious mind what you are going to actually be doing as you are achieving the outcome, and it really helps with the steps towards making it happen. And what it does is it embeds it into the subconscious and pulls you towards it, right? Pulls you towards it. Now, the £27 thing, I don't even know where that came from. I had completely forgotten about it until I picked it up and started reading it, and I'd actually been talking about doing a £27 masterclass, and I had people, my students, buying that masterclass that week. No idea where the £27 came from. I don't sell anything for £27 apart from that. Okay, so number 4, ecology. How does it impact the individual, the people around them, the society, the planet, right? So this is really about how does it affect those around me, right? Those around me, and on a wider scale. So when it comes to ecology is really about understanding what is this impact, what is this outcome and this goal and how is this outcome and this goal going to impact like my whole life and my family, perhaps my kids, my partner, my friends, my further family, my community, the people I see on a daily basis, my people, maybe if you've got a job, the people at work, how does it really affect everyone? Okay. Number 5, is there more than one way to achieve it? Is there more than one way to achieve it? So a few years back when I first started my coaching business, I found it really easy because I had a background in sales and I was already earning in my corporate role. I was probably earning about $4,000 a month with commission. So it's fluctuating with commission and bonuses between probably three and a half, $4,000 a month. And so when it came to my coaching business, I really quickly, thankfully, having experience in sales, was able to replace my job income very quickly. In fact, I did it within 3 months and I'd left my full-time job. But when it came to going to the next step, the 10K a month, which I was working towards, I wanted to do 10K a month sales, right? So when it came from going to sort of $4,000 a month to $10,000 a month, it started to become a bit more challenging. And so what I did was I wrote down like exactly how I was going to achieve it. So I said, I can't remember exactly, but it was something along the lines of, I'm going to sell this program, I can't remember which program it was now, for this amount of money. I'm going to generate leads by this. I'm going to sell it like this. And I described all of these things, right? And I was so fixated on it happening that way that I didn't even notice it happened until 2 months later, because I didn't see it, right? Because it went straight past me. I did achieve 10K months 2 months prior to me actually realizing that I'd achieved it, because I was too fixated on making it happen in a specific way. Okay. So when it comes to this step, it's really important to think like, yes, we want to have strategy. Yes, we want to work towards it. Yes, we want to know what the steps are, but we also need to be open to allow it to happen in any way that it comes, any way that it manifests, right? So don't be too stuck in one way of making it happen. Allow yourself to be open in a natural way to just allowing things to manifest in your life in a natural way, right? Okay, so number 6, have the first step specified and achievable, right? The first step. So sometimes our outcomes and goals can feel so far away from where we are now, and all we really need is the first step, right? So I remember when I had the goal of making £10,000 a month, right? It was years ago now, but I remember thinking, like, where I am now, I felt like I was never going to get there. It felt like it was so, and in reality, really, it was only £5,000. It wasn't anything really. And I just felt like it was so far away. And I even remember when I first had the goal of having a 6-figure business and feeling like, from where I was at that time, having just left my sales job on like a, between 30 and 40 grand a year, I felt like it was going to be so far away from going to 100 grand a month, right? Sorry, 100 grand a year. And actually we've done 100 grand a month almost as well. So that's brilliant. But at that time, it felt so far from where I was in reality that I just found myself getting overwhelmed and saying things and saying negative things like, oh, it's never going to happen. Oh, it's just so far away. Oh, it's impossible. And all of these silly things. Now, all we really need to do is have the first step specified and make sure it's achievable, right? So sometimes it can feel so far away, but all you need is the first step. And all achieving your goals and outcomes really is consistent, like a consistent series of small steps in the right direction consistently. And I remember that feeling when I did actually achieve a 6-figure business and actually did a 6-figure month. Well, that's a bit of a lie. We did like £93,000, so we were just a bit off. I remember sat there thinking and remembering how it felt when we felt like it was never going to happen, and And then I remember thinking, like, all this was a small series of steps consistently in this direction, in the right direction, right? So have your first step specified and make sure it's achievable. Number 7, which is last but not least, think to yourself, will this increase choice? Like, will this support me in my life and my business? And will this give me the freedom to create choice in the decisions I want to make, the things I want to do, how I'm operating in my business, how I'm operating in my life, how I'm operating in my relationships? Will this give me choice and support me in my life and business? Okay, so let's have a quick recap. So how to set goals in the right way. So if you sat there thinking, I've already set my goals for the new year, or you sat there like me thinking, I've not yet set my goals for the new year, and I am going to, this is really helpful because you can use it to set your goals, or you can really look at the goals you've already got and just add this extra layer to what you already have. So the first thing is ensure it's stated positively. Focus on what you want. Remember, the unconscious mind does not process negatives. 2, make sure it's self-initiated and self-maintained. Make sure it's you that's in control of ensuring that this happens. Number 3, have a full and specific sensory-based description of the outcome and the steps to achieve it. Number 4, ecology. Ensure you have ecology. How does it impact on you? How does it impact on the people around you, on the society, on the planet, on your community? 5, is there more than one way to achieve it, right? Like the law of requisite variety, which I teach in our NLP and breakthrough coaching program. Ensure that you are open to allowing this to happen in any way it comes into your life. Don't be too fixated like I was on the way that it comes in and miss it actually happening at all. Number 6, the first step specified and is achievable. What is the first step? Because remember, achieving your goals and outcomes really is a series of small steps consistently in the right direction. And number 7, will it increase choice? Will it support you in your business, in your life, in everything that you do to increase choice? Okay, so that is it from me. I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer. That sounded so posh, didn't it? Rebecca Lockwood. Yeah. I always feel like just saying I'm Becky. So, yeah. I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnosis trainer, breakthrough coach trainer, and we teach quite a few modalities actually within our programs.